Hello, and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana has mainly moved sideways over the weekend. Yeah, we're still holding above the last swing low, at least while I record this video. And this is the last swing low represented by the red line, located at $194.50 roughly. And I highlighted to you in the last video, and this is the first level that would need to break to even for us to consider that some kind of a top is in place. As long as we don't even break below this level, there's absolutely no sign of a top in place, and the overall trend remains up. But even below this level, I mean, it's still, I don't see that last swing low as very relevant. More relevant is this more significant one located around 185.80. That's probably a really good signal level. And at the moment, I'm considering we might get another high. Obviously, not absolutely needed, right? This is already visually a 5-wave move up, but we might get another extension. So I'm actually waiting for these levels to break so that we can finally start to pay attention to the support zones, which are still as per the last video. Yeah. So there are two wave counts as discussed. In this video, I only want to pay attention to the shorter time frame. And here we either could start a wave 2 pullback from here or after one more high, right? The next levels to the upside are 208 and 229 to watch. But the next pullback could be either a wave 2. In this case, it needs to hold $164.70, which is the last, the lower boundary line of that support zone. And if it's going below that, it might be a larger wave 4. So this pullback will tell us which count it likely is. Okay, we have two support areas. It's very simple to trade. I mention it all the time. We have in our live stream tutorial list for members, we have several tutorials about how to trade with Elliott wave, trade pullbacks. One way is to use this triangle technique, which I show regularly. We specifically talk about that quite frequently in in our membership. A couple of weeks ago, we caught a nice Bitcoin setup with this technique. I proposed a few different ways of how to trade Bitcoin, and it would have worked out really well based on what Bitcoin is doing is doing right now. Now you don't have to trade like this, but the idea is you scale in according to triangle size. Okay, up here you see this as one range. And you buy a little bit as the price drops, a little more, a little more, a little more. As the price goes lower, you could set a stop below that if you want to. And then you are positioned, wherever the price moves up, at least you're positioned. And that's just a great way of getting positioned with low risk. You trade for the marathon. That's it, not to get rich quick. Well, you might do, but that will most likely cost you much more money than you make. But this is a great way of to trade with Elliott wave. There is more to it. We talk about that a lot in the membership. If you're interested to find out more about how to trade with Elliott wave, you can check the tutorials out. There are hours and hours of tutorial videos. But that's a great way of doing it. Just scaling in. Position size is very important. What you shouldn't do is to do this. That a lot of people do that, and that's where they go wrong, which is buying high. A lot of go in heavy here. Right, and then down here it really hurts because you're at a huge drawdown. That's not the right way of doing it. It needs to be this way. Now the problem is some people who aren't, have certain risk profiles or whatever. When the price turns around early, they get FOMO. Now again, that's why psychology is so important, right? And that's where different strategies are so important, but that's a great way of dealing with it. So again, unless you have different signals or indicators you're using, I would recommend this strategy. And then, you can just in a very relaxed way wait for that pullback. If you traded recent pullbacks with that, you're positioned anyway, and you can just lean back and relax as the price climbs higher. All I want to share with you is this is a decent move up already. We might get one more high, but I think for a decent setup, a break of those red lines is actually favored at some point, and then we can start to focus on these support areas. But I have to adjust these support areas together with the price as it climbs higher. But all the levels should be clear. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Today, I published one video specifically exclusively on Twitter, or X, formerly Twitter. You voted for it on Twitter. It's the Injective protocol video. So if anybody is interested in INJ, Injective, you'll find that on Twitter. It's only a couple of hours old, so still very much up to date. Feel free to check it out. And if you follow us here, make sure that you only follow the official account with a blue check mark. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.